2019 to order. Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Councilor Lehman.
Here.
Councilor Marcus.
Here.
Councilor Milich.
Here.
Mayor Clarich.
Here. We will move into reports from department heads right away. Public Works, Trent.
Howdy. Just wanted to inform you guys of what happened with the power outage Monday morning. It ended up being a lightning strike that hit one of our lines over by our substation that feeds our substation and took it out, actually burnt it down. So Minnesota Power came in and actually it was the first time our new switches that we had installed, so late last fall. It's the first time they've ever been tested and they didn't pass the test. So they got to do some reprogramming on them and everything. But where the line had been taken down, most of town would have still been out, but southern part of town, like the Damien Dish and the gas station and ODC should have been able to come back on. So we got to work on that. But otherwise, then we ran into problems because once we opened up some breakers, one of the insulators had busted. So that's why it took a little bit longer than we had wanted to, because we had to find a new insulator to replace it. So,
An old insulator replaced the old.
That style, we didn't have any extras and they only had two, so we got lucky. Otherwise we had to have replaced a bunch of stuff up there. Then other than that, all I have is the agenda items.
Okay. Any questions? As long as Trent's right there right now, or we'll be talking as we move along, so okay.
How's new employee working out?
Good.
Lyle?
Yeah, he's learning, he's doing good.
Proof will be in the puddings for snow.
Yeah, still gotta go over a snow route and everything with him, and
Don't wait too long.
Yeah, well, usually with the first month of snow, I usually get with the grader unless it's a lot, then I'll get the plow truck out there too, but otherwise I try to get it with the grader at first.
Well, even I can ride with them if
you want to.
Just first time or so.
It's
Just
that about because you trained in
That'd be
the end,
nice.
so it made it easier and it'll definitely make it easier for me.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you have your route and the plowhead hits route and yeah.
So that's a promise, right?
Yeah, good promise, yeah. Well, as long as it's
Before
December.
Well, yeah, that's 2/12, right? I would hope so. Okay, well, we'll keep moving on then. Fire and ambulance, Stuart, do you have anything that you want to care to share?
Fire department have a meeting next week, Monday, so.
Okay. Engineering, Ryan, you said you're just moving along with the right of ways, okay? The attorney's not here. We did put some things in his hands with blight. That we had a blight run the other day and yesterday, and so we'll take care of. He'll take care of that and report back to us later this month. Long range planning and zoning.
Canceled it.
Nothing to report there. Recreation board, non-existent at this time. Even though I saw Taryn Burnett as trying to put a thing together for the kids, and I know Doris called me and we're going to donate $100 for that too. So just help them get off the board. So I think that she's doing a tremendous job. She had the thing at the park not too long ago too. So hats off to her. Library board, we had minutes last meeting or the meeting before?
Yeah, they're posted at City Hall as well.
Vita, we had to cancel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no report there. Sheriff, you have anything yet?
Not yet. You'll get something next council meeting from them.
Boy, you're up right away, Ryan, now.
Yeah, I'm just the city gave their bonding presentation on the 19th. It was well received, so we'll just kind of keep leaning on our elected officials to kind of push that through. And the mayor mentioned between our engineer and attorney, we're working just on a few right-of-way easements that we need to have in place for when we go out for bids and start. So that should be wrapped up within the next week or two and be pretty much good to go. That's all I have.
Okay, CIRSSD, we met just not too long ago, and it's not another meeting for a bit yet, so we'll report when that takes place. Council additions to the agenda. Well, the only thing that I want to say is that we're going to add one, we're not going to have to take a motion on it, but under item 7, under business, C, we have street sweeper and sander sale. We're just going to add City Hall boiler discussion to that. We had a problem with our boiler this morning, so. And then other than that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as it's presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as is.
I'll second this.
Okay. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion's carried. Citizens Forum, anybody signed up?
Gary,
Okay. Gary?
I got a question. I'm paying $71 a month, for water and sewer, and I'm not using it. Is there any chance you guys could, say, charge 25% of that a month instead of having $71, no water, nothing's going through it?
I wasn't here when they made the report, but I think that report was made based on the population, the homes that were there. It's something we can consider, but right now I'd have to have that investigated further. I'd want to talk to our engineer about that too. And because how many other properties would, we have to do a whole study of the city, because that would change everything that report presented to this council and to the previous council.
I mean, basically, when we had the rate study done, and I know we've talked about this too before, Gary, that, as long as there's a connection to our system, there's a cost to the city, whether for repair, maintenance, and things like that. And, we've had a few people, in your same circumstance, Gary, that they're not using it, but essentially they're still hooked up to the system. So, as far as the city's concerned, we kind of have to keep it uniform across all customers.
Well, then I want it zone residential then. At least I'll save $50 or $20.
We can talk about it at planning and zoning and then go from there.
That'll be referred to that,
So,
and with attorney input. Because the other way, it was that they had to seal it off, correct? Wasn't that our previous conversation with you, that it had to be
Yeah.
terminated?
Because you're talking a car wash, right, Gary?
Yeah. Now, I can't believe that any rules can come in like this. The bank and everything else, they're trying to sell their building. If they got a business here, they're gonna try to sell it. They're not gonna keep it so they gotta keep paying monthly, things on it. It's just a dead thing. I can't believe it. How anybody can even come up with something like this.
Well, I think it's fair, but the thing is, if you want to terminate the connection, that's what I would recommend you do, and then you'd lose that fee.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple to me. That's how I could explain that to you.
Oh, it's terminated now because you cut my water and my sewer off. It's terminated. I don't have it there.
I can't answer, I'd have to talk with
You guys shut it off, I can't do nothing. I can fill it up with cement or something, then I never can use it.
Yeah, you could probably.
But it's stupid for somebody to do it like me, shut it down if somebody wants to buy it or something. I can't believe why they can even have something like that. Or give somebody, say if you're not using it within 2 years, then you can do it.
Well, basically, we have old structures, just like yours, in town, that nobody's fixing up, doing nothing with them. They're just sitting there rotting. And the only means to get them to do something is, and we're probably one of the only town on the range that did charge this charge. We found that out through our study. Everybody in the state pays this just like you are paying it now. It's not that we introduced something new. Everybody in northern Minnesota pays that. You can go to Chisholm, you can go to Mountain Iron, you can go to Virginia. They pay this.
You think it's fair a guy should pay it and you don't use it? I can see if you put it in, the city put it in, they didn't put it in up there.
Well, the problem is, you're not doing nothing with that building.
Well, why
It's
should
just-
I pay $70 a month
Well,
if
it's-
I'm not doing nothing with it?
Well, the problem is, it's just rotting. It's sitting there rotting, and it's an eyesore to the whole town. Either do something with it, or tear it down, and then you don't have to pay nothing.
There's still intrusion, water that gets through that line.
Yeah.
That we have to deal with the CRSSD, and there's a fee for everything that's handled, and we don't know how much intrusion there is. I can't answer that. I don't know what the study, how detailed it got, but at this point, we will refer your concerns to planning and zoning. But like John has explained, this is something that's done in every other city. I don't think it's in everybody in town that has property will pay this fee.
That's stupid, I can't believe it either.
Everybody in town.
Nobody even comes up and says anything about it. They must have a lot of money or they don't have to worry about it. That's my opinion.
Well, these old buildings, you just want to leave them sit there and have, just sit there and do nothing? Just let the pigeons run in and out of them? Or do you want to fix up the town a little bit? That's not fixing the town up.
How many buildings have they fixed up?
Well, this is a start. We have also preventive maintenance in our ordinance that actually, it's gonna tell you have to make that suitable for either a business or to live in some of these old houses and these old buildings.
And then-
We were so far behind, and now we're catching up, and yeah, we're gonna get some slack out of it.
And Gary, with our rate study that we had done, it's all, we're gonna be putting in this new sewer system next year.
I know you have to do stuff, but I can see, how we can say this? Why should I have to pay $70 a month when my bill was just $70 a month when I was using it? That's what I don't
Well, the rates went
understand.
up.
Oh, the rates are up.
There was a rate adjustment. It was passed by the city council. It's now ordinance, I believe, right?
I
Would
mean,
that
we
be the
have
proper term,
the
Ryan?
old laundromat, we have the old Buhl Bank, we have the old bottle shop, we have the old highway grocery. I mean, all these buildings something should be done with them, and there's nothing being done with them. Well, do something with the building or else pay the bill. That's it. I mean,
Okay. I'm gonna end the conversation on this. We're gonna move forward. It will be referred to planning and zoning when we have the next meeting. We'll post when the meeting is, Gary, so if you wish to attend, you may.
Well, I'm on the,
Yeah,
I'm on
Gary's
the
on
thing
that
anyway.
Oh, you are? Okay, well, that's what we're gonna go up against. I thought we had explained and discussed this previously this year, so that was, and our philosophy hasn't changed, so that's where we're at. So, is that it for Citizens Forum then? Okay, 6, consent agenda. Minutes. Regular City Council meeting September 17th, 2019. Claims. Payroll, number 20, $11,330.97. Number 2, payroll, September, $1,850. And accounts payable, number 3, $22,610.76 for a grand total of $35,791.73. Is there a motion to approve the minutes and the claims?
I'll make that.
Okay, there's a motion by Stuart. Support. Support by Jim. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign, motion's carried. We'll move into the business section. 7A, city garbage recycling service discussion. And we're gonna make a decision tonight about city garbage. You've had a comment from Ryan. We also had a correspondence from NIS, and we've looked at it. Now it's before us. And what we had, just to get everybody caught up to stuff on this, is we did meet and we verbally agreed to go with NIS. Since then, there have been a couple changes to NIS that were a number changes in costs, and one cost we were willing to absorb, but a second cost was about the size of the containers from our current 64 to 32 gallon, and then we received a document from NIS that it was going to be 32 gallon, and then we bantered back and forth, and I believe that it might have been reaffirmed that it could be 64? Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. That's for the public to know just what's going on here now. So I've looked at it. I've looked through both quotes again and bids, and I'm going to recommend that we probably stay with waste management. And I want to refer to that takes several motions, and I want to get them in order. So I'm just to allow waste management to do that, we will have to rescind the verbal agreement between the city and NIS.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I was just gonna ask for that motion. Okay, motion by Stewart, is there support? I will support that to continue the discussion. Further comment from council?
Well, there's been a conflict between Christine and the city of Buhl, and what we were told wasn't what, the information that we got back wasn't the same.
There were two changes.
Yeah. With that, the projected cost of savings wasn't near what we thought it was supposed to be. That's the only comment I have.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyone else? Hearing none, we had a chance at citizens forum, and I think you should have spoken. I'll grant you 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, any board I've ever been around,
Okay.
you always wait till the discussion's up before you.
Well, we don't usually discuss, that was public forum, that's when Gary was talking, he signed up for public discourse with us. But I'll allow you 2 minutes right now if you wish to respond.
Sure, the deal with the size of the cans wasn't something that was, I don't think it's fair to say that it was misrepresented by me as much as it was miscommunicated. Because in the first time, I did say 64 gallons, which I didn't catch. Ryan pointed out to me, I didn't catch because I didn't look far enough in the video. I had 64 gallons on the brain, but I did quote 32 gallons, and that was, on the estimate before you guys even voted on it. So I think that it's only fair to say that it was a miscommunication. Once Ryan did point it out to me, and I did listen to the video far enough, I did see that, I did say that, and I apologized tremendously, and I held to that price, which in that letter you see, I will honor that. I will honor that I said that. And I asked for the board's consideration on some, aspects of financial on that. But I don't think it's fair to say that that it was like told to you and then not taken back, because in all due respect, it was in black and white on the proposal the night you guys voted on it. And I gave it to you guys in the morning, you know what I mean? So I just want to make it clear that there was no hoaxing, there was no misleading. I think it's fair to say that it was more of a miscommunication. And I still am willing to stick to my original proposal.
Okay. Okay, thank you. With that, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, so we have rescinded that verbal agreement. Okay, another motion to renew the agreement between the city and Waste Management. I will make that motion. Is there support?
I'll support.
Okay. Further comment or discussion? That stayed the same with their original quote to us. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed, same sign, motion's carried. Third motion is to approve one of the following recycling options: a 3-bin weekly service for $700, a 3-bin bi-weekly service for $350, or a 2-bin weekly service for $470. And prior to that, as Trent, you had commented earlier that should be part of the discussion now going forward on this. Do you have a recommendation of what you'd like to see?
I guess I'm not informed on what's...
The recycling bins.
just keeping them where they're at.
No,
kinda
yeah.
staying status
No,
quo.
they come and pick them up probably every other week. They don't come here every week.
They just come in when I call them in.
Call 'em, yeah.
I think it's,
Well, they said right now we're being serviced weekly. We have
well,
3
that's-
8-yard
I'd say
recycling dumpsters,
probably-
weekly service.
I'd say it's more towards bi-weekly.
Every other week, yeah.
It used to be weekly when it was down by the garage. A lot more
Okay.
people seem to recycle, but since it moved up to the dumps there, it really slowed down, and then it's picked up a little bit since it's been behind the school, but it's not as often as what it was when it was by the garage.
So then the 3-bin bi-weekly service should suffice for us.
I think so.
I do too. Okay, I just wanted to have your
Well,
opinion.
how are we being charged now? Are we being charged $1.56 per household, Ryan, with this?
No, we're just being charged one lump sum. She just broke that out, that's the cost associated per household. But how it appears on the bill would be in one lump sum. We'd have the amount for the garbage plus,
For the city.
yep,
So then that's $3.50 a month.
yep.
Okay, so that's what we've been getting charged?
No.
Or we're getting charged $700?
Okay, yeah, so I
We were
think
getting
it'd be
charged the
smart-
700.
I think it'd be a
Okay,
smart
so-
move to the 3-bin bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, yeah, and
$3.50,
they
yes.
cut that in half then.
Yep. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll make it.
Okay, motion by Stewart. Is there support?
Support.
Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on. City cameras, discussion, approve or reject. And I'm just gonna, we'll make some comment here and then we'll open it up to discussion, but let me find the, so if you don't mind, I'll do this and then we'll open it up. Sure. As you all know, the city has been exploring the option of placing cameras around the town. The cameras will be placed near the entrances of town and potentially a camera by the compost site and one near City Hall. BETA has agreed to cover the cost of this project, but the city should authorize the placement of the cameras within the city limits. Camera data would only be reviewed if something occurs such as a stolen ATV, garbage dumping that's illegal, or if requested by local law enforcement. The first point of contact for anybody viewing that is the City Hall people. It's not open to the sheriff. They have to have our permission before they can review those tapes. So, and we did have some thefts over the past year or so and some vandalism that we think some of the thefts where they hooked up and took a trailer and a snowmobile, we'd catch that going out of town in some of those areas. We've had problems with the compost site. Trent, you can probably attest to that you've taken a lot of things out of there besides compost.
It's almost
And-
daily.
And we can corner that a little bit and then just to have those around and inform the public and people coming into town that we do have cameras.
Well,
This is not unheard of.
Wayside shops would update probably to this camera
Okay.
system, and even maybe the beach. Once they have the system in, the cost of the camera isn't that much. We just update the ones we have, which people saying they're not that good. Well, with this system, it'll protect the Whiteside shops, and we've had some activity down at the beach too.
Before I entertain a motion, is there any further discussion before we move on this? So we're having a good discussion right now.
So we're talking each entrance into Buhl?
Yep,
25
3 of them.
and the 3 of them, okay.
Yeah,
I think it would be-
and the other thoughts were obviously the compost site, since we've had, if it's cost effective, we're looking at some options to place a camera kind of towards that intersection down there, and then one up by City Hall, just because this building kind of houses all sensitive city information, that it'd be good to.
Then it would catch some other streets too.
Intersection,
Yeah, so, yeah, I think that's a good plan. Is there a motion to approve the authorization of placement of cameras in the city limits to be paid for by BETA?
Also move that we authorize some for placement of cameras within the city limits.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Okay, moved and supported. Further comment or discussion? I think this is a strong positive for a lot of the residents within the town, and then also to help Trent. And then now where the recycling bins are, that is already covered by a previous camera that's
That'll be the one covering the entrance.
Okay, I mean,
The
so I
Virginia
mean,
entrance.
there'll be double duty on that one, excuse me. Okay. Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign, motion is carried. Street sweeper and sander sale, and then we're adding city hall boiler replacement to that too. But let's talk about the street sweeper and sander sale. This is, as I understand, old equipment that we've tried to sell and we've been unsuccessful. Trent, would you make comment on that? As you said, you wanted to talk about that when you spoke, so.
Yeah, well, Ryan's put it online. It's been out, both the sweeper and the sander's been out for over a year, and there's just been no hits on it. It's not really good anymore. And so I just suggest that maybe we just put it on new bid and try to get what we can for it. Essentially,
local
'cause right now
business.
it's just been sitting in our cold storage, taking up space. So just been working around them, both of them.
Okay.
The sander is,
Not the sander, just the old sander truck. It's the old,
Oh, it's a truck.
yeah, just a flatbed pickup.
oh, we didn't get rid of that one.
No, it's still, we've been trying.
We bought a new one, or
Yeah.
a new used one.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know we still had the old one.
Yeah, it's,
Oh.
Okay.
it's a rust bucket.
Did it have a dump box on there?
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
Oh, but I mean, it does have it, just has to
does
be
have it, yeah.
fixed up, the pump.
Right.
Okay.
Then, we have a third, please stay up with us, Trent. The city hall boiler, we had a high reading today of carbon monoxide, and we did bring a company in. Ryan, if you and Trent want to make any comments here right now, because I think we're going to have to replace that.
Yeah, so yesterday, after I got back in the office, our carbon monoxide detector was going off. That's on this level right next to the entrance to the clerk's office. It was reading over 300 parts per million, which is well above any safe range. We did the basic thing because we've never heard it go off, changed the battery, retest it, still saying the same thing. Chief McDowell came over from Hibbing and got the fire department's tester, and tested up here, down there, which we're all doing about the same readings, 300 up there, and then varying from 400 to 600 parts per million downstairs, which is kind of getting to the point where you should be concerned. So we shut everything down, opened all the doors and windows in City Hall, and kind of cleaned everything out. Trent contacted how many different?
All 3 different places, and I was just looking for whoever could get here the soonest.
Yeah, so Iron Range Plumbing and Heating came in today and took a look. I know there was one thing that kind of stood out was the ductwork. It was kind of collapsing, it was corroded, and they also mentioned a few different things about the boilers itself, and not really being able to say what the problem is for sure, or whether it was a combination of everything. So, and just kind of talking to the guy, I mean, he was kind of basically said I would look at replacing everything since the age of those boilers is over 20 years old, and I believe the air exchanger on there it's usually warranted for 20 years, and obviously that time's up. So that's what he was kind of looking at. In the meantime, I did submit or start a claim with our insurance to see if anything would be covered, so that's kind of a wait and see, but I wanted to get that process started. But it just, the way it looks to me, I think what makes sense is kind of looking at the entire replacement.
Brian, one thing, we had the power outage. Why don't you ask if we allow this to go forward, ask them to see if that could have been any cause, because that would help us with insurance also. So
I don't know, Trent has.
We looked at the chimney and stuff. Somehow it's corroded, it can collapse and deformed inside. So that's what was causing the CO2. For sure, the complete ductwork has to be replaced at the very minimum.
But in the meantime, we need heat in this building, so I guess we're gonna ask authorization to.
And then with the ductwork and stuff, there's new codes and stuff that But there, it's not just as simple as replacing and even just doing a chimney. That stuff's expensive in itself, so.
Yeah, it's double lined,
Yeah,
class B
yeah.
pipe.
I mean, and not to mention too, the efficiency of that boiler. The gentleman from Iron Range Plumbing and Heating said it was probably low 80s, high 70s as far as efficiency rating, and I know obviously now with increased or advanced technology, you can find pretty, efficient pieces of equipment, which, I know Minnesota Energy has some rebates, so that's an option that the city will kind of look into if we don't get what we're looking at with insurance or something like that.
Has there been any previous councils looking at the longevity of this building? I mean, there's 2 people in this building, we're heating this thing, you're cooling it, you got maintenance on it. I think this is a big expense for.
Yeah, there's been, was that Gunter?
I know Engineer Jamnick did a study, it was before I got here, I don't know.
I seen it, but I don't remember much about it.
I mean, there's some deterioration going on outside with these pillars, this concrete, that tile that was out there, I mean.
Oh, it's an old building.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're heating the whole thing, correct?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you pretty much have to.
The only thing is if we abandon this building and tear it down, we have to tear it down because CDBG won't give us money because it's a historical building.
Right. Well, I think that's a study we can continue. We can look at what Jamnick had to say and see what the costs are going to be. We were going to approach CDBG about fixing some of the stuff here, upgrading it. So
Yeah, they don't give you much.
Well, we'll try.
When we did that study, it was, there was plans to build a new city hall down the street down there. But for the cost and the heat and stuff, it wasn't really that terribly bad. I mean,
anything you build new, it can be expensive. So, well, it's a thing we'll have to look at. I mean, it's something we have to consider here. But I think in the meantime, we do need to replace that boiler.
Yeah, we gotta go for it.
So, I guess I would entertain a motion to put the street sweeper and the sander truck for bid with dobid.com, local company here, and that we replace the city hall boiler and whatever else has to be done with it to make it up to code, correct?
Yeah.
Is there a motion to that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Stewart. Is there support?
Support.
Okay, any last minute discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Realtor contract concerning the Buhl School. Give me a minute to get caught up here.
Well, just make a comment on that.
I guess we're taking a brief recess while Councilman Marcus
We can go without.
Yes, we can. We're going to. Okay, Darcy Novak's contract is with us through Keller Williams Realty. And the terms of the contract are that Darcy would see $7,000 if the school is sold or leased, with tentative funds coming from the IRRB for the school. The city should keep someone actively marketing the building, and I agree with that too. Now, Gary Sirkvenik, our lobbyist, is also working with the IRRB, trying to get a person from them appointed to help us with this too. So, which is in the best interest of the IRRB as well as the city of Buhl and the entire area of the IRRB within the tax relief area. So that's where we're at. I'd like to kind of find out what John has to say, but to me this is pretty basic, that it's not costing us anything, and it's a decent price to that's the cost of doing business for a realty company. So, and she has been very active.
Yeah, and that's on a sale of 140,000.
149, is it? What do we have
That's what
listed?
it's currently listed. Rather than doing a percentage when she first started, it was just that flat amount. So
Okay.
as of right now, it doesn't cost the city anything, just if the building, sells or has a lease tenant in there, that would be the only cost to the city through with Darcy.
I think that equates to 5%, for her on that sale. It's probably what the going rate is.
Yeah.
It's negotiable with everybody.
Yeah.
It just depends what is, commercial or home ownership or whatever. So, John, we've discussed everything, so, but what's your comment?
No, Darcy's brought tons of people up to the school, and I think she's doing a good job.
She's done a great job. It's just that we're rejecting some of the people that are applying too, so, and we're working very close with IRRB, what we commented about.
And she's not in a position to reject anybody, she's in a position that bring us what contacts her, and then we talk to these people, and yeah, she's brought in a lot of people up there because we spent
You've
all
been
summer.
busy.
Yeah, we were up there all summer.
I think that one thing we should talk to Darcy about though is that we develop a little letter that she gives to everybody that, we want a business plan when you come, we want a financial plan, we want everything that you're going to do, because people will come, they're looking for money, they're looking for this, they're looking for that. This way they know if they're going to come and visit with members of the council or the council, we want a sound business plan and financial plan, which is also being requested. The IRRB is helping with heating and things like that. So we want to make sure that they have a say in this, and that they'll have input into if and when we sell it, who we sell it to. So.
Well, that's true. We end up giving these people a tour, and we tell them that because they don't have that. And you're right. They should come there with something.
If they're real serious, they'll have that all put together and ready to go, and with some potential additional financing help from outside sources. So, is there a motion to renew the agreement with Darcy Novak and Keller Williams, where she would receive $7,000 if the school is sold or leased?
I make that motion to renew Darcy's contract.
Is there support for that?
I'll support that.
Supported by John. Further comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on to Resolution 19-27 on the Buhl School, and I will tell you what that is for the public to know this. Attached is Resolution 19-27. Per discussions with our lobbyist, Gary Sirkvanek, and the IRRB, the city will apply for a commercial development grant through the IRRB to maintain the school in the year 2020. The city will be asking for $142,500, which will cover utility costs and other miscellaneous expenses, even though a lot of the repairs are done by our people. Some of the minor things and things of that nature, and if it's major enough, we will bring in a private contractor such as a plumbing and heating organization to do that. So the IRRB has been very generous to the city in the past, and they are very committed to have something go up there also, move in some sort of a business or some sort. So I would make the motion to approve Resolution 19-27. Is there support?
I'll support.
Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Councillor Lehman?
Yes.
Councillor Marcus?
Yes.
Councillor Milich?
Yes.
Mayor Klarich?
Yes. Okay, other business or councillor comments? Stuart?
Last week, Thursday, I attended a Rams meeting over in Hibbing. We toured the new mine view that they built on the north side of Hibbing. So, great lookout. I guess on a clear day you can see Virginia. Then today I attended a meeting at Mount Iron with Pete Stauber's office and a bunch of other elected officials across the range. And it was a very good meeting, some good information. He's doing a lot of busy work for the people in Minnesota.
Okay. John?
No, I don't have anything this time.
Okay. James?
I have nothing.
Okay. I would just like to comment that Ryan made a tremendous presentation to our legislators and local officials. It was a bus tour, and we did meet in Hibbing, and then we continued on to Bovee, and Ryan and Jeff Anderson works for Gary Cirkvenik, the Costin group, and Gary and I were also there, but we followed because they needed a ride back from. But we did talk with legislators, we talked with other people about the project, but Ryan and Jeff did a tremendous job on the presentation of the sewer and water project, and then also it's received quite a bit of ink. You've been in the Chisholm Free Press, the Mesabi Daily News, and the Hibbing Daily Tribune. Pretty good articles about it too, so a great job there on the city, and we're just gonna really hope that we'll probably be called down there to testify sometime this winter on that, so hopefully that will happen. Other than that, I have nothing else. So is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Support. And support. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned at 7:10.